Hello, my name is Francis Fox. I'm a trained remote viewer and trained and disciplined in all the psychic abilities since I was actually a small child. I was part of a secret government program that has not been declassified yet. So we are getting together Monday through Friday to deal with whatever's going on in the other dimensions that can make a difference in how end times end. In the Bible and the Mayans have said that it should end very well for a lot of people that will be lifted up from the trials and tribulations, and for a lot of people it won't. So I guess what we're doing is trying to pull along as many people as possible for a more favorable ending, having to do with a collapse of a paradigm, a new cycle, the ending of an era, the walking away from the age of Pisces and working with the age of Aquarius. We're going to start with news from other dimensions. Um, the Mayans had a prophecy, I think, that was not discovered till after 2012, in which they said that our subpersonalities would be coming up and that we would be so shocked at what we have, our darkness that we have held inside of ourselves, not what was done to us, stuff that we did, stuff, and we will start to remember, and that it would create total chaos because people wouldn't be ready. This has to do with the veil that goes down when you are born onto this planet. You don't remember your past lives. You don't remember that you chose everything that happens to you, almost everything, to position yourself to accomplish your mission in this particular lifetime. We don't remember. That veil now at end times lifts up. And unfortunately, the thing that we get hooked on is the bad stuff that we did, because honestly, human beings are very nice people. A lot of games have been played with us, a lot of tricks, and a lot of it has to do with those veils that come down. So many people are remembering bad stuff that they've done, and they don't feel so good anymore about criticizing other people. Or they shut it down again through drinking and addictions. That is happening increasingly. I had an example of that. I've had many examples of that, remembering things today. Basically, it just rocked my world. But I'm aware of what the process is, and most people are not. So we went ahead, going to other news from other dimensions that you may. On Friday, we did a map of the United States. Oh, Don, I just realized that this is not going to work with this. Yes, it does. We did a map of the United States. Those lines that you see going across, good. It's the frequency shift. It's a vibration. We see the piece of Texas border that connects to Mexico, could trigger a war. We kind of already know that. The United States, the South Florida looks really good. So then I went ahead and did it again today. We did have, by the way, the Mantrista group did work on what you see at the top, which is ET sending fire to the northeast. They're trying to burn down what is the etheric webbing, which part of it is the DNA, which is a protective webbing. And they were sending fire through Maine. And I did find that Maine is in a state of shock. They had a mass shooting late last year. And so they're doing all sorts of things as a reaction, emotional reaction to that. So that opened the portal, and they're able to go in through there and send fire. I know a lot of this will not make a lot of sense to you. The problem is, when are you going to know these things? I can't wait any longer. And neither can you. So I did this map today, right before this event, this get together. And I see that the United States is waking up from a dream state. We're waking up. Certainly that is happening to me. On the West Coast, that is supposed to be kind of yellowish, not orange, but my yellow pen doesn't work. And that is the color of emotions. So yes, we're waking up and it's not feeling so good. The center of the United States is basically a spiraling in the heart of the country. We have a broken heart, and we're going to do a mantra now to address that. That broken heart is not good if there is another plague, or if you are plagued by the old plague, because it cannot really do very much unless your heart center is broken. South Florida, it says A-OK. You can't see it on this map right here, but the north, the east coast of the United States, no longer has the fire coming in. We took care of that last night, but it is getting cut up. Those lines are not a frequency shift. It's not a vibration. It's literally getting cut up. So lots and lots and lots of things going on, but let's go ahead and deal with the mood issue, because our emotions are what our spirit is composed of. Our spirit is our force. When they say, may the force be with you, they are basically saying, may you and your spirit be aligned. May they work together. People think that the spirit just pops up when your physical body dies. It doesn't. The spirit is with you forever, or kind of hanging around you forever. We just haven't really accepted it. Our personality is in control. Meanwhile, our spirit knows everything our personality doesn't. Because if not, it would have remembered all this yucky stuff that we did this lifetime and others. Didn't remember. Now the veils come up. We remember, and we are ready to slit our wrists because we thought we were a very nice person. So we're going to deal with emotions, which means we're going to deal with a part of you that has to do with the phrase, may this force be with you. We're going to deal with your force, which is your spirit, and soothe it. We know we need to deal with broken heart. Today, the lights around me are changing a lot. They're much better than last week. I'm miserable, yet I'm radiating great light, as you can see. And it's changing because I'm in the middle of a huge frequency shift, an awakening. Not happy about it, but it's good, even though it's miserable. We are going to now ask you to self-assess yourself. Where are you from 1 to 7? Excuse me, from 1 to 10. 1 is you want to slit your wrists. 10, you feel great. Figure that out, and then at the end, you should do that again for you to prove to yourself whether this works for you or not. And then we're going to show you the famous gold dress, and you can look at it and see what the colors are. They are gold and white, but a lot of people, if they're not doing well in terms of the vibration and frequency, they see it in blue and brown or blue and bronze. And many times you will see it not such a great shiny white and gold. And by the end of the session, you already go, oh my God, it's much brighter. It's much whiter. And at some point we started, and I'm not seeing that anymore. I could see like a pink veneer over it, but it was very nice, but I'm not seeing that recently. We're all going through an awful lot. So we're going to do the first mantra to address the broken heart. This is a mantra that we have been using for 2 or 3 years already, and it is our assessment that, give me 1 second. Make sure I copy the correct mantra. This mantra is the one we're recommending for all of 2024. You repeat it in silence. It is a purification mantra, so it's like a vacuum cleaner. And the 3 words, the 3 things you're going to be vacuuming that's going to help your mood is your frustration and anger and hatred, the fact that your heart is broken that we saw on the map of the United States. I think this weekend stuff happened and it was like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. And we don't say my heart is broken. We go, we're angry, we're sad, whatever, but it's a broken heart. It's there on the sketch. And the wanting to die, people are lacking a lot of vitality, having to do with living. You assess yourself and you will see whether you feel better. So the mantras are repeated in silence. I would direct it to your heart center. I would have the hands in the Apana Mudra, 2 center fingers with the thumb, and then the back of the hands you can put on top of your thighs. We're going to do this for 10 minutes in order to be able to purify these emotions and these energy centers that affect your spirit, which is the part of you that is the force. When you die, what is left on the physical dimension is a bag of bones. Your force, your spirit left. And we don't really take care of it because we haven't been taught well. We need to take care of it. And that is a lot of what we will be doing here. In addition to giving you news from the other dimensions, that a lot of what you're going to go, but that's not possible because you see, reality is first created in the other dimensions, and then it happens as reality in the physical. So you may go, I don't see that. That's not happening. Not on the physical. It may not be happening on the physical dimension yet, but unless something stops it, it will happen, which is why we're working every day having to do with the East Coast of the United States, because the happenings there are not good. Okay, so there's the mantra. We're going to do 10 minutes, and you're welcome to put your comments in the chat. We would really enjoy hearing your reaction to these things. Okay. You started out looking like that. This is like a curse. And in Hinduism, it's known, and in my world also, that when I draw this line, I know the person has some black magic. And in Hinduism, they say that I'm not sure it's all of it, but all black magic comes in through the throat energy center. Very important for this part of us to be okay. But you did get better. There are those green mind strings. They're not red anymore, so you're not angry anymore. Go ahead and check and see if you can tell. And you have some green ones, so you're better. But look what I just realized. Well, you have mind streams at every level, but I am sketching them all coming from the third eye. Okay, so this is your mind streams, okay, all the way down the trunk of your body. But I have always sketched them from here, other than autism, when I sketch them here, which is where they have the issue. I think that maybe a lot of our moods are totally associated with our third eye consciousness. But guess what? Jesus tried, I'm not Christian or Catholic, but the symbolism and the quality, obviously, of the man, but he was telling us something. When we see, we get upset, and then the powers that be haven't wanted us to see. And now the veils are coming up, and we're in revelations. We're no longer in the age of information. We're in the age of transformation, and information can help to transform us, but that's where we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be just information. We're in revelation. So the information is coming out. And then our third eye, that's that big eye that's on the dollar bill. We all have one. It's where our wisdom is. We are not happy. I'm sketching our moods from there. I wasn't aware of it till right now. But we got to get this better. So we're going to go to the reason why we're here today, which has to do with the peace and prosperity, supporting peace and prosperity. And then we're dealing with other things, including me giving you news from other dimensions each time we get together so that you're able to know what's going on in the other dimensions, which will eventually, if not already, be happening on the physical. I'm going to choose a different music. Interesting that I was going to choose something for the third eye before I made this realization. We humans have consciousness is really tricky. We don't know enough about it. By the way, in the chat we did last night, in which it's in Spanish, we get a group of people. We were like 250 people. We're going to all the countries, and we're purifying them and connecting them with a group of ETs that are off planet that are willing to help us. And they're from the Pleiades. Okay. But my goodness, my mind just slipped. Oh, when we went to clear Haiti and the Dominican Republic that share an island, what we found was that that island is still suffering from experiments that were done during the time of Atlantis. And they learned how to control and enslave the spirit body, the one I've been talking about since the beginning of this chat. We were able to undo it. And I have a couple of friends from the Dominican Republic, and I can see that from their feet, there's yellow light coming up. What's going to happen on the physical dimension, I have no idea, but it certainly should be a relief. But it was really interesting because in Atlantis, contrary to the parallel civilization called Lemuria, which you need to look up because it's sounding an awful lot like the New Earth that people who know a lot are talking about. In Atlantis, they were very competitive, and they loved technology, and they got technology from ETs. The same way we're getting help having to do with purifying things from ETs, they would get technology, and they wanted to go fast. They wanted to be the first, and they didn't check the ethical implications of whatever it is that they were putting together. And from my understanding is that was the reason why Atlantis was not allowed to continue, because of their lack of ethics. Their technological advances were here, mainly given to them like this by ETs. Not They didn't have the time to really see what the repercussions were for humans, and their ethical standards were here. And that gap, Atlantis, the decision by whoever it is that makes those decisions was made to take Atlantis down. We're there again today. We want everything right now. We want it quickly. We want the maximum. It's said that off planet beings are giving technology, but we needed the time to figure out what it was going to do to people. Because isn't that the reason for technology? People make people's lives better, not just more convenient, but actually better long term. So it was nice, and I think it will make a huge difference. So now let's go ahead with the mantra that we're with. That's the main reason we get together, for peace and prosperity, even in the midst of chaos. Okay? And I have a sensory therapy music video, a Mantrista sensory therapy music video that has to do with the throat chakra, this energy center, and the crown chakra, which is appropriate for what it is that's going on today. That little crown of thorns from Jesus Christ really hit me hard today, having to do with the fact that I sketch those depressions and those rages coming from there. And that's where your superpowers are. So You don't look much better. There's more mind streams in green lifted up, but we have as a collective a massive depression. And we also have black magic or curse, which we can see in the throat chakra. Just another short explanation of how important mood is. In the United States, they used to, don't hear it anymore, talk about market confidence. And market confidence used to be able to tell us how the market was going to do. And everybody was confident at a maximum level or a little bit lower. They don't even talk about that anymore. Market confidence has to do with faith. Faith is in this section of the human system, which is exactly where all these mind streams are coming from. We don't have market confidence. We don't have faith. And without that faith, the entire system collapses. And I'm sure that every economist would agree with that. If there is no faith, the system will not sustain. So this part of us, we have to pay even more attention to than we have. We have been discovering little by little how very important it is. So we're going to do, the last mantra is going to be a telegram mantra. And I'm going to change the music. You direct these words to here. I trust, I trust, I trust. If you want to add the word I trust in the economy, you can do that. But maybe you shouldn't, because the minute you go with the economy, you go, just do I trust, because we create our life, the economy of the world, the economy of this country, everything, our children, we create. And if we're down in terms of mood, it affects our creations. It affects everything. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to choose another sensory therapy video that is also for that section of our bodies and our mind. The trick is not the bodies. In other words, I'm pointing at this part of the body, but there's a part of the mind related to each section of the part of the body. Okay? And as I tell everybody, when you have a trauma, that trauma has a zip code in your system. It's hooked someplace or near someplace in terms of your mind. And the book that eventually I will get out, I've discovered the mind-body connection, also the mind-home connection. But we'll get to that at another point. So here's the new music. There you've got the telegram mantra, repeated in silence, directed here. 2 feet on the ground. I hope your hands in the Apana Mudra. Okay? And we're going to do this for 7 minutes. I love the colors and images of that music video. We have basically finished. We look better. This was the last sketch. The mind streams are more the length they're supposed to be. And the third eye is getting a healing. This is good. Things can change. This is the first sketch an hour ago. This was the collective, how we looked as a collective. Then we got some green, which got better. And then We got the mind streams at the top were lifted up the way they're supposed to. And then now this looks really good. So from 1 to 10, how are you doing? And I'd like to leave with this mantra. Freddie can feel the energy coming from the feet to the head. I have to say that we can shift very quickly. We can fall off the edge of the earth very quickly, but we can also apparently get pulled up very quickly, depending upon our moods. And our moods a lot of times have to do with news, and that's the problem, because the Buddhists call it the monkey mind, which are all these mind strings. They react to everything. So if you can train yourself, and it's what Buddhism teaches, which is not a religion, but a philosophy based on the mind, if you can stop reacting to the news, just hold on to your intentions, you're going to be able to achieve what you want, even in the midst of chaos. But the news, my God, the enemies know exactly how to trigger us. And we are getting triggered by stuff that we're remembering. That veil that's lifting up to where we didn't know half of what we should have known about ourselves. And the Mayans said that it would lift up now and we would see subpersonalities that we all have, and we would know what to do with it, because we have not really been trained to deal with our darkness. We've been trained kind of to point the finger at the people that do bad things. And then if you do some spirituality, to have some compassion, because obviously something must have happened for them to do that. But we're not trained to deal with our internal darkness. And that, with the veil that went down to where we would forget everything, not just before we were born, but in this incarnation, when you have big trauma, you don't remember. You go, oh yeah, oh my God, I didn't remember that. And we have stuff we're not remembering from last week. When it starts to come up and it's bad about us, there's a reason why we repressed it, why we put it behind that veil. It totally shakes us, and everybody is going through that now. So we're going to end simply by putting up the mantra. Something wonderful is happening with what we're showing in the United States, which has been god awful. The good news is that it shifts. This was Friday. This was today. Now, we have more of a broken heart today, but this was kind of an interesting weekend having to do with news. So this is the mantra. You repeat it in silence every time you think about this country or economy or whatever. Just repeat these words and just breathe. New York, that whole Northeast, that piece, not the whole Northeast, but the New York, Washington, D.C. area. New York has been called the city of hate for years in Europe. New Yorkers are always very surprised. What? Too much fire. And when we have checked New York, it's too much fire. The fire burns the protective Higgs field that God gave us or set in place for us to have protection. And the fire totally destroys it. So there's no protection. So continue to invest a little bit of your time, your mental energy, and your intention energy into purifying and healing the Northeast of the United States. Okay, and we will be back here tomorrow, and I'll try to have another map. Who knows? We have the eclipse coming up on the 8th, and that is certainly throwing open everything that could be negative all at the same time. And I think Mercury retrograde started today. Mercury retrograde, I'm not sure what actually happens with the planets. They don't actually go back, but it looks like they do. The trick of the matter is when you do anything electronic or sign contracts during this time, not good. Unless it's something that's coming back that you already dealt with before, or that was presented to you before, and then it comes back now and now you sign it. It's still, I think, not a good idea to sign it now. You can look it up in terms of astrologers, but it creates a lot of messes. So we have eclipse, full moon, Mercury retrograde, the CERN. It's a lot. Obviously, somebody wants for us to grow up or to get awake really, really quick. So we'll see you tomorrow. I'm Frances Fox. Bye.